welcome back to our channel again. This is yet another trip. This one's a little bit different though. So this one is actually a group couples trip that we took to
Disney.
Yep, Disney World. For those who don't know, I was a former cast member at Disney and I haven't been back to the parks in quite a few years, so this was so fun for me to get to go again and kind of be back home, if you will. But there was a lot of new stuff for me to experience too, which was awesome. But this was Paul's very first time to any Disney park, not just Disney World. He's never been to Disneyland. So it was fun for me to get to see it through his eyes and for him to experience this.
I just can't get enough of this beautiful life.
When we first got there, we actually stayed at Art of Animation. So we had our two couple friends. So it was Hannah and William and Zach and Rachel. And then Hannah and William's little 1-year-old Wesley actually was able to join us for a little bit of the trip too. It was most of everybody's first time in the parks. I've obviously been, and William had obviously been because he actually used to live in Florida. But Zach had been to Magic Kingdom, he said, for like literally 3 hours. And that was pretty much it. So it was cool because everybody else was living out their first Disney World trip. We headed to Disney Springs on our first night there, and we actually went into Gideon's Bakehouse, which is obviously a newer aspect to Disney.
Yeah, and it had a really cool story talking about how the person found like a cookbook or whatever, an old vintage cookbook, which had the name Gideon in it. And is how it apparently got started, and the person just wanted to have a bake shop, so to live on the legacy of what this person's dream was. Cool. Yeah, and it was very gothic, very Tim Burton kind of esque.
Yeah, like, it definitely had like a Tim Burton feel in there.
Yeah, and that was, I really liked the art and the style of that, and the food was really good.
The cookie was really good, and then it was with that peanut butter latte.
Yeah, that was, I discovered that. You were about ready to walk around.
I was. Well, it was night.
What kind of beverages do you have?
2 coffee at night, but that peanut butter latte, it was good. It was very good. Yeah. I'm a sucker for peanut butter though, so. And then we all kind of went back to the resort and just crashed. To make sure we were all rested for the next day, because the next day is when we started parks, and we went first to
Animal Kingdom.
Animal Kingdom. So I took them straight to Flight of Passage because I was like, this is the ride you have to do. Hey guys, so we've been doing really bad about vlogging, but we're just gonna enjoy this trip. We're just gonna get some clips here. Say hi. We're with the whole crew here. Hey. We are currently in Animal Kingdom. As you can probably tell from up above me, we've got the Pandora landscape. So, how you feel, babe? It's your first time.
It's pretty incredible.
Yeah?
Yeah, that's all I got for right now.
We haven't rode any rides. We're currently in line for a Flight of Passage, so I'll get his reaction after this one, because we all know, if you've been to Disney, you know this ride is just phenomenal. It's so cool. So I'm excited to see his reaction here. So we'll keep you updated. Yeah, me too. But really, we're just going to try to enjoy this trip. So I'm going to get little clips here and there. But we're not feeling pressure to get it all because I just want to soak it all up.
Get to me island, man. Min waɗi mi yiddema ko an tan hollimi.
Okay, babe. Thoughts on Flight of Passage?
It was amazing. It was a great way to ice break, start off the day.
Zach, your thoughts?
Pretty cool.
Get to me
And the
island.
rest of our crew? Everybody else's thoughts?
Snacks are great.
Min waɗi mi yiddema.
I remember looking over at Rachel actually on the ride because it's like the wind's blowing, and I just remember looking over her and her hair is like flying. I can just tell like from what part of her face I can see, she is just so enthralled with the ride. That's like, I can remember just looking over her hair is flying out like this, and her face is just like beaming. She's like, this was so cool. I just remember that. And then we did Kilimanjaro safaris.
Holy me, konji din mi oduna What me
In the cold light I live, to love and adore you. It's all that I am, it's all that I have. In the cold light I live, I only live for you. It's all that I am, it's all that I have.
Kwan holy me Kario go penyu kindarin hasida kal mojaj What me eat them What me eat them
Getting ready to eat some lunch. Paul's got his fist on the table. Nice. Wesley, did you just wake up for him and nap? He's like,
Joni 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 watini
So open up my eyes to a new light. I wandered round your darkened land all night.
we are in line for the Skyliner, which I have not rode yet. For day 2, where are we going?
Not Hollywood Studios.
No, it's not Hollywood Studios.
Not the Rise of the Resistance.
Nope. Where are we headed?
Epcot.
Epcot. It's currently Festival of the Arts, so we have lots of like art pieces laying around and like vendors, and then they have street vendors too, or like little marketplaces that have extra like seasonal food. So, how are you feeling for Epcot?
Chilly.
Chilly. It is a little cold out. But we've got the whole group here. Zach, Rachel, and then Hannah and William are behind us with Wesley. And today is Wesley's birthday. Number 1. You're 1 year old. You're a whole year old. Oh yeah, we got a little.
Good job.
You're burning yours? Look at your little happy birthday button. Wesley. 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 How are you doing, bud? You're 1 year old.
Good morning.
Good morning.
It's my birthday. I have no concept of what that means.
We are in Epcot. They actually let us in like earlier than what like early entry is, and we're at Remy's. That's the first ride of the day, which is new for me too. So I haven't been on that. Obviously, nobody else has either. So we are excited. Okay, what ride are we about to do now?
I don't know. What is it?
You don't know what it is?
Frozen.
Frozen
Yeah,
Ever
Frozen
After.
what though?
Frozen Ever After.
I wish somebody would have told me that.
Okay, what were your thoughts on Frozen? Frozen Ever After.
It's okay for the kids. It was too short.
Too short,
Yeah,
but
way too
you
short.
liked the details and stuff, huh?
Yeah, but I gotta say, if it doesn't allow me to feel like I'm really interacting and I'm just along for the ride, that's why Flight of Passage was so cool, because it felt like, okay, yeah, I'm really flying this thing.
Yeah.
Someday these will be the good old days. All the love you won't forget, and all these reckless nights you won't regret. Someday soon your whole life's gonna change. You'll miss the magic of these good old.
Oh, I was gone. I probably have to go on my lips.
Probably.
Also, while we were in Epcot, it was actually Festival of the Arts too, so they have like a lot of local not local booths, but like just little food booths for the festival food options, and then they have like little art stations around the park, which was really cool.
It was fun. I found a piece of art, and it was at the very beginning of the day, and everybody's like, no, don't get it. And I'm like, I don't care, I just don't want it to go.
Then we did Soarin'. How cute! We also did Test Track. When they actually look like they have a fire engine as their vehicle. Designing our car.
That doesn't say.
There's our car. Babe, how do you feel about our car? It's great. And then there's their car, which looks like a 4-year-old's little garbage heap.
I was thinking about the band. I was thinking about the fans. We were underground, loading merch in that 12-passenger van.
Paul got into something, a Disney classic, if you will. I never really got into this. I know a few of my fellow college programmers got into this quite a bit. But that is pin trading. Zach actually was doing it to help a friend out to get more Stitch pins, but Paul got hooked on it.
Epcot was, yeah, the one where I was like, all right, let's break the ice, and went and got some.
Okay, Paul's showing off his pins here.
Alright, so this one is going to go bye-bye as soon as we can get the trade off. This one I traded earlier with Zach because he got it from The Last Jedi. This one we found earlier, not much to say other than I really dig the pink and the orange, mustard orange. This one could go or stay, but it was Star Wars, and it says Red Leader, Peter Pan, huge fan. And then it's a classic Mickey hand. I've seen 3 of these today.
So are you enjoying pin trading?
Yes.
We're on Spaceship Earth. So William, right as I was saying I thought that this one's kind of lame, William's like, oh, I like this one. But it's still fun to do.
In a small club in Minnesota, and the snow outside of First Ave. I just wanted my name and a star. Now look at where we at, still growing up. Still growing up. I would lay in my bed and dream about what I've become. Couldn't wait to get older. Couldn't wait to be some. Now that I'm here.
And then we actually went back to the resort for a little bit. Shortly after that, kind of relaxed some, and then made our way back to the park to watch Harmonious, which I had not seen yet.
I just can't get enough of this beautiful life. I just can't get enough of this beautiful life.
Okay, we just watched Harmonious. What are your thoughts?
Scared? I guess. I had nothing really to compare it to. She said it was pretty cool. I said you could probably drop the cool and just say pretty.
That was my first time watching it. I thought it was pretty cool. I mean, we really weren't in the best probably viewing location for it, but it was really cool, and I liked the music and how they did all of that and how they like brought it together at the end. It was really cool.
Oh, give me all you can of this beautiful life.
Yeah, the third day we went to
Hollywood Studios.
It is day 3 now, and where are we headed, babe? I bet you can't guess.
Epcot.
You're so funny.
Oh. Magic Kingdom.
Try again.
Hollywood Studios, California.
You're funny.
Oh, okay.
We're in line for the Skyliner. Paul's like, you always film when you're in line. I'm like, yeah, because it's when we have the moment to film. And you're literally like just walking with the flow, so it's not like you're trying to navigate a crowd. But it's a pretty early morning. I think we started about 7:15. Just try to get to Rise of the Resistance is obviously the goal, which is I'm sure half the people's goal here in the line. But
maybe, unless they're stupid.
But we're gonna see how this one is. I think everybody's a little bit excited for this. And this is his most anticipated part of the trip.
We had pin trading to handle before that. You guys went ahead, and Zach and I had to stop at the trash can. It was 3-sided, the best pin trading of the whole time we were at the park.
Okay, so quick update. We've gotten a theme going together here. We've kind of gotten the Oswalds going right here. They match the Mickey. I'm sure there's got to be another one. I haven't seen it yet in the park. But this one also seems to just fit the aesthetic. This was the last one I traded for. This one would be the first to go in any trade, but I'm pretty set on these 4. This one, it just depends on what I see at this point. But so far, so good.
Nice. You're enjoying the pin trading life.
Absolutely. Thank you to this man over here that set me on to him.
Okay, we're getting ready to go into Galaxy's Edge.
Close, we're close.
Thoughts so far? We literally just walked in.
Really cool.
So basically, the theme of the ride is that you get captured by the First Order and you're trying to escape. So we've got a story with this one that we have to share because I want to remember this. But the First Order captures us, if you will, and cast members are playing their role. Like, they're bossing you around because you've just been captured. Like, you're a prisoner of the First Order.
They're in character.
Yeah. And Paul is so funny because I just remember seeing it from my perspective. Paul's so enthralled, like he's looking around in the ride like, oh my gosh. And this First Order cast member was like, getting the single file line. He goes, it's not a hard concept. And then, so we're all in a line, and then Paul is still though like, and he's like out of line a little bit, and this cast member comes by, and now Paul has a birthday button. It says happy birthday and it has his name written on it, Paul. So the cast member comes up to him and
stares into my soul with these beady devil eyes like that just pierce you, and goes, we're gonna have a problem, Paul. And I'm like, oh, of all the things I had to have my name on the freaking badge. And I just look at him and I don't know what and like I'm trying to figure out, oh, I'm out of line. I scoot back in line and I go, no, sir. And just get back in line.
And he literally, the cast member goes,
A covert resistance team led by my friend Finn has infiltrated a First Order Star Destroyer that is now heading to the system. Get doors open now! Done right.
God.
Hey, you're not authorized. Wait, get those orders there.
The prisoners have escaped.
How brave, but ultimately hopeless. There's nowhere to run.
Your heroism, the location of the resistance base is secure. Bravo!
Then after that, we went and rode Smuggler's Run.
You like it?
Yeah.
We're driving cars on a us tonight.
We also did Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. That's hard to say. And actually, when we were in line for that ride, we met this guy that I'll let you tell the story because you can tell it a lot better than I.
There's this guy, and he was just with his family in front of us. When you're in line, you're just kind of like watching, zoning out, talking and stuff like that. Well, I just happened to zone out. And when I'm zoning out, I'm just kind of staring in front of me. And in front of me is this like little girl, and she's like 5, maybe 4, something like that, something young. And they have the poles that you put like the
little like chains
dividers,
the line dividers,
the ropes. And so I'm just playing this back in my head. The little girl is about height level with it, and on the pole they have the real round parts where you can hook it. She stares at it so intently, and she's just looking at it, and I just kind of halfway start to glance and like notice that she's really looking at this pole like pretty intensely. And then the next thing I know, she just decides, I'm gonna wrap my whole mouth around that. And so she just puts her mouth around the pole, and I go, ah! Like, well, right as I do that, her grandfather behind her goes, hey, Savannah, don't put your mouth on that. Her dad whips around, and when he does, he sees that, and he goes, are you nuts? It was, and he said it with this thick, like, Brooklyn accent, which later we found out he's from Long Island. We had a whole conversation with him. Oh, that was so funny.
It was so funny. But yeah, he was a nice guy. We talked with him in line for a little bit. That's definitely part of, I feel like, part of Disney World. Like, you start talking with, like, other
Running through the strange life, chasing all them green lights.
Okay, Paul, what are we in line for?
Rockin' Sock'em Robot Roller Coaster.
Are you excited?
Yeah, I am. I really am a big fan of the band Journey. So
You're
being
so
here, you know, for the ride. Oh, I'm sorry, Queen. It'll be interesting.
Just a little bit, breathe more, just a little bit, care a little less, just a little bit, like life is. I'm making more, just a little bit.
What's been your favorite ride so far today?
This part?
Yeah.
I think easily Rise of the Resistance.
Yeah, it was pretty. That was pretty cool.
Smuggler's Run was probably second best, and it's not a Star Wars thing. It's just the ride was actually really fun because that one was interactive.
Yeah, it was really cool.
Yeah. Even like a surprise for me, and yet again another Star Wars one, was the tours. I was like walking into that and going, man, why? I just wasn't feeling it. But then once we sat down and did the Star Wars tours or whatever, that one was actually really fun. It was updated apparently from what the aesthetic of the building looked like, and I had a lot of fun with that one.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. Pretty cool.
Yeah, so I guess Star Wars for me.
Yeah, Rise of the Resistance is probably my top one for today too, but I always love Rock and Roller Coaster. We're headed to dinner now back in Galaxy's Edge, and then we're gonna meet up with everybody and either do Slinky Dog Dash next or Tower of Terror.
Smile a little more and I'm into it. I've been running through the strange life, chasing all them green lights, throwing up the shade for a little bit of sunshine. Hit me with them good vibes, pictures on my phone line. Everything is so fun.
We also did the Indiana Jones show,
which was cool. I really wanted to take a nap, but it was so interesting. But that was still like, we had a little bit of a headache and stuff like that, and I'm just like, man, we're in the shade, it feels nice. I just want to take a nap. But it was so visually interesting to see what was going on stage, all the stunts and that.
So when we were in line for Slinky Dog Dash, again with the pin trading, Zach
honed in on this girl on the dividing side of us.
6 years old, 7.
She's gotta be older than that. But there was like a glass, like plexiglass kind of thing that you couldn't see through. Or, I'm sorry, you couldn't interact through, but you could see through. Zach had his face pushed up against the window going,
He's just happy.
back and forth, eyeballing her, and her dad wasn't paying attention, the mom wasn't paying attention, the girl was just on her phone. And then he finally puts his head like under the divider and goes, hey, do you want to trade one of your stitch pins? And he like holds up his thing. I'm like, this could go so many ways.
And then we went on one of my favorite rides, as far as the thrill goes. Favorite ride? Tower of Terror. It's so fun.
Which was pretty fun. I didn't know what to kind of expect with that one. I do like that haunted house kind of aesthetic kind of thing.
I've been having dreams, jumping on a trampoline,
Flipping in the air. I'll never land just.
Okay, how's everybody feeling? How's everybody really nervous?
We're scared.
Pretty much that.
We're gonna do the hands up challenge. Except maybe not Rachel. Then we ended the parks with a bang for our whole group trip. And we went to Magic Kingdom. We walk into the park, we're getting in, and like I said, it was most people's first time to Disney. And Rachel sees the castle and I start seeing her eyes well up with tears a little bit, and I was like, oh my gosh, I was like, you're gonna make me cry. It was a sweet moment, and it's truly just, it's such a special place. Okay, what park are we in now?
Magic Kingdom.
Okay, do you know what ride we're getting ready to ride?
No.
You know what it's called?
Seven Dwarfs.
Seven Dwarfs Mine Train. Hannah's ride.
When I walk outside with my head in the clouds, nothing in this world can bring me down. I know it's a scary place with all these faces. Everywhere I go, I keep singing out.
And line first base.
It's gonna be a good day.
Splash Mountain. Oh, sorry, I just said Splash World.
Wow, you know Disney.
Small World. That's how tired we
It's gonna
are.
be a good day.
We also did Pirates of the Caribbean.
When I walk outside, all the birds sing along. You know how to make this old house a home. It's been a long, long night.
Then we also did Drunk Cruise.
Alright, it's gonna be a good day. I'm gonna sing all my blues away.
Quick update on the pins here.
Mostly the same right here. I found him a couple more times right here. Oswald with the purple. But I traded out to get me this pouting Donald.
So then we watched Enchantment, of course, to end out our group trip. And I knew I was probably gonna get emotional. I was such a sucker for Happily Ever After, so I was a little skeptical going in. I will say it was still a really, really good show. I don't quite think it hit Happily Ever After, levels for me, but it was really good. I definitely cried in it. Hannah cried in it. Rachel cried in it. And Zach even said at the end of the show, he was like, I'm not gonna lie, like I started getting a little emotional. And I was like, yeah, those fireworks shows, it'll do that to you. It pulls on your heartstrings.
You and I and a little toy shop, buy a bag of balloons with the money we've got, set them free at the break of dawn.
Slow you down.
People taking the easy way.
But I know exactly where I'm going. Closer, closer every day. I'm almost there.
Floating in the summer sky, 99 red balloons go by.
Alright, update. Today's Friday. We've said goodbye to the rest of the group. They're on their way back to Sarasota. We've switched hotels this morning. We're over at the port of Roy.
We're at Caribbean Beach Resort. We switched from Art of Animation. That's where we stayed in the family suite with everybody. And just so you guys know, William's parents actually live in Sarasota, and so they kind of split the trip, like spending some time with William's parents and then Disney trip in between there, and then going back to William's parents, which is why they're going back to Sarasota for a little bit.
Right.
And then Paul and I still have a couple days here. Today is kind of like our lounge, relax day. We're currently at the pool. We haven't even checked into our room yet.
Taking it easy, enjoying the sun. Well, she is. I'm in the shade. I didn't put any sunscreen on my feet, and I had to curl them back because I realized I don't want any blisties on my feet. But yeah, we've just been waiting out the time so that we can go ahead and jump in our room and throw our stuff in there before we go off to dinner.
I had a little seagull or something go steal a whole freaking chicken finger
From somebody.
from the thing, and then it just, like, I got it on video. It was so close to us.
Does that make them a cannibal?
Imagine there's no heaven. It's easy if you try. No hell below us.
Paul and I just had a little pool sesh. Now we're gonna get ready for dinner and head over to the Polynesian for that. But we went on the slide like little kids, because when you're at Disney, you're a little kid. Kid at heart, always.
The adults.
Yeah.
Imagine there's no palm trees.
Morning.
Guys, good morning. This is our last day, which I'm already getting sad about it. But we're headed to the Skyliner now from our resort. So we're going to Hollywood Studios for a second day here, so that Paul can go around some more with Galaxy Edge and stuff and the Star Wars shops.
Open, you take that jump.
And then we'll ride a few more rides. We may not do a full day here, might kind of want to come back to our resort and relax, because we have a really early morning flight tomorrow. But yesterday was good. We didn't video this because we were just spending a lot of time, but we went out to dinner with
My dad.
yeah, Paul's dad, my father-in-law, and
Kona Cafe.
the cafe in Hollywood. If you're familiar with that, it was really good. I had never ate there before. I knew of it, I just never ate there. But it was super good and a lot of fun. So
Hope that you fall in love and it hurts so bad. The only way you can know, you give it all you had. And I hope that you don't suffer, but take the pain.
By order of General Hux, this transport and all of its contents are now under the command of the First Order.
prisoner transfer.
How brave, but ultimately hopeless. There's nowhere to run. Just for you and the resistance.
I should hope so. Great job, recruits.
Then we ran over to Tower of Terror.
No one remembers your name when you're strange, when you're strange, when you're strange.
Toy Story Mania we did, and I wished we had done that with everybody because that ride was so much fun. That one's definitely top 3. It's like Rise of Resistance, Flight of Passage, and Toy Story Mania for me because
It's a fun one.
yeah, it's very interactive and it's competitive too. Like with the guns,
You get
can
your
just
points.
like, oh man, it's so much.
You keep turning my life around. Hey, la, 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 you keep turning my life around tonight.
So we did call it a bit of an early day. We just headed back to our resort, spent some more time at the pool and the hot tub, which was nice. In fact, we actually met that guy in the hot tub, the engineer dude.
Mm-hmm. With the son that was that you could not get over because this kid was very he held himself very mature.
He's probably like 10, maybe 12, like somewhere around there. And I felt like I was talking to a 30-year-old. Like, I mean, he was super kind, but I was just like, I felt like it was a very adult conversation. Like, he's like working on his pilot license, and he's like, yeah, I want to fly commercial. And I was like, this is coming out of like a 10 or a 12-year-old's mouth. I was like, okay. I was like, do you know like what airline you're thinking of flying for? And he's like, I haven't quite figured that one out yet. But like the way he's talking and holding himself, I was like, he's like a little man. I mean, he was super sweet kid and super sweet dad too. They were just kind of talking with us in the hot tub at the resort. So we are back at the hotel room getting ready to enjoy my very last Mickey bar for this trip. And Paul is actually drinking a Capri Sun, as you can tell. Do you want to tell the story behind that Capri Sun?
Yeah, so we were just walking back to the hotel last night, and Caitlin's talking to me, and we're walking. It's completely pitch black in this section, and I see this glint of like reflection, and it just happens to be this Capri Sun lying on the ground. I did a double take at it, back pedal. Caitlin stops her story and says, what are you doing? And I'm like, it's a Capri Sun. And the straw's not out of its package. I said, score.
I was like, are you really? He's like, yeah, this is my treat. And so
this is my treat.
This is his Capri Sun that he found out too. Yeah, the straw was still all wrapped and stuff, so it should be all good. It's probably just fell out of a kid's
it just probably
lunchbox.
Booger hands all over.
Ew, okay, that's disgusting. Anyways, we are going to probably eat this, shower, pack, and then watch a Disney movie to close out the trip. Hi guys, we actually just landed in Tulsa. We were gonna film a little earlier, but we had a bit of a stressful moment this morning trying to get a lift because everybody was trying to get lifts and Ubers. I had even asked like the couple sitting in front of me outside the hotel lobby. I was like, hey, do you guys mind asking, like, do you mind me asking, you know, what kind of transportation you're using? Because it was like 4:45 in the morning. The only place that they're going is obviously the airport at that point. And she's like, well, we got an Uber. She goes, we tried to get a lift last night and like schedule it early. She goes, it is a complete mess. And so I asked her, I said, you can totally say no. I said, but I'm having such a hard time. We're trying to get to the airport. any way we can split this Uber with you? I was like, I'll even pay for the whole ride, like if I need to. Like, I don't care. And she's like, oh my gosh, of course. But literally right as we were getting ready to get her Uber, I get a confirmed Lyft driver that was 3 minutes away. So we just waited. Jorge, and thank God he was our saving grace this morning because I was starting to sweat it. And if you don't know MCO Airport, Orlando Airport very well, it's hecky awful to get through. So we're very thankful because we ended up getting our own car, drove to the airport, and it all ended up being just fine. So we just had a bit of a hectic morning, but it worked out well. And we're tired though because it was definitely an early morning. But we made it home. Yeah. It was a really, really good trip. I got a little emotional. I'm going to try not to get emotional in this video. But we had a fun trip. And with great people, too. So, do you want to talk about the trip a little bit from your perspective? First time going to Disney World?
First trip, first time as a whole. Excellent, overwhelming experience. The park was phenomenal. Attention to detail was great. Had an excellent time, and part of it was the company. We thank the people that we went with. It was so great. And thank you for planning it all.
Of course. It was
took
fun.
the better part of 2 years or something to go ahead and put that one trip together during COVID.
Yeah.
On and off, checking to see if we open back up, availability, all the extra stuff.
We really had a great trip. We're so thankful for our friends that came along on this trip as well. They're really what made the trip so special. And other than that, I think we're signing off for this trip. But thank you guys so much for watching and tuning in. And we'll have more videos out here soon, hopefully. And we got to plan our next trip. Where we're going next.
To be decided.
To be decided. But anyways, we love you guys.
Gotta check which way the wind's blowing.
Alright, bye.
Bye.
Balloon. It's all over, I'm standing pretty in this dust that was our city. If I could find one souvenir just to prove the world was here, here it is, a red balloon. And I think of you and let it go.